Welcome back to our 38th episode of the Launcher Farm Show, where I interview John Moscillo, also known as Johnny Mo, with Explore My Town. In this episode, Johnny and I talk about why agents need to be using video in their business if they want to stay relevant. Johnny also shares how important it is to connect with local businesses and movers and shakers in your community. And we talk about what you can do to leverage the relationships you already have to turn them into opportunities to create video content for your farm. Johnny shares a super easy way to get guests to be on your show using this one simple script. And we talk about how you can turn your videos into a media company that can help you get paid to create content, build relationships, and give back to the community. Plus, we talk about a ton of other ideas that you can use to grow your geographic farm. So be sure to check out this episode, like and subscribe, and enjoy the episode with Johnny. Welcome back to another episode of the Launcher Farm Show. I'm your host, Ryan Smith, and today we've got a great guest. It's Johnny Mo. He's the founder of Explore My Town. Johnny, take a second. Tell us a bit about yourself and why you're here.
Hey, man, thanks for that. So I've been in the business for 20 years. Prior to that, I was a network engineer, pre-Y2K, having fun with that. The companies that I worked for mainly, they're all .com, and they focused around sales and technology and those types of things. And I have always looked for deficiencies, training, coaching, for the past 10 years. And, basically I've always trained, connect with people in your community, B2B networking and video. But I found out the problem was agents just weren't doing it. So what I did was put a system together that was real easy for them to follow and do.
Yeah, and you got a great system, and we're going to dive into that in a sec. But I want to take you back to the beginning of your career, because I always like to start with that. What got you into real estate, and how did your career kind of evolve as you went along?
Oh, yeah. So I was told a year in advance that my job was going down the tubes and that they needed to keep me on so we could wind down. .com blew up, right? Blew in, imploded. So, I knew that. And I said, I was talking to my mom who, was entrepreneur her whole life. And, I worked for her. We helped build a nice company together. And she said, well, you're really good at sales. Why don't you try real estate? And so I got into real estate. What I realized was, it was like 2001. Nobody knew how to use websites. Mm-hmm. And so I came in and I killed it. Google didn't, Google existed, of course, but pay-per-click was like 25 cents. Zillow didn't exist. Facebook didn't exist. None of these things existed. So you had to think outside the box. And there was a lot of resistance to technology back then. And I embraced it, and I still embrace it because it is leverage.
Yep.
And just really killed it, and made also. I made the Chairman's Club at Remax in like 4 or 5 years. So it was pretty good run.
So you've been around the business a lot. You've seen a lot of changes. You've been part of those changes. What got you started in Explore My Town? Because I know you mentioned you'd like to see those opportunities. How did that evolve, and how did that come into play?
Yeah. So video, there's no denying video is the most powerful thing anybody can do out there.
Yeah.
Don't let that sidetrack you with the crap. And it is crap that you see. Everybody's trying to be funny for 3 seconds, right? That stuff is all junk. So what got me into it was I knew video was powerful. It is powerful. It's 80%, 90% of the traffic online. The numbers are just alarming. 100 times more times likely to get shared out. You just look at the Wise Owl surveys, and it's crazy. So I said, all right, how do I get my people moving into doing video? Again, there's reluctance because of fear, knowledge, some sort of intimidation at time.
Yep.
So what I did was I said, all right, I'm gonna put an editing team together for you. We're gonna tell you what to say. We're gonna edit for you, and guess what? We're even gonna market it for you. Yep. Because that's a whole nother thing where most agents, they can log into Ads Manager, but I would bet 9.5 out of 10 do it wrong. So I hired, excellent digital marketers, excellent video editors, and we teach them how to shoot video with just using their phone, which contributes to the community, which helps others, which creates what I call video business networking.
Yeah, which is great. And I think one of the keys with that is that having that plan in place, and that helps hold people accountable. It helps people create regular content. And again, I've been in the business a long time, and agents say they want to do video, they get out there, and then like you said, they don't know how to do the promoting of them. They stall out on what do I do? What do I send? How do I do this? And then they have good intentions, and then it either doesn't get out there or doesn't get out there to enough people. So your system helps really reshape that for people and give them no excuse really to do the videos.
Yeah, that's 100%. And, of course, there's coaching with it. We have a blueprint,
Yeah.
what to say, how to say. We do the scripts for you. And really, it's all really done for you. All you have to
Yeah.
do is go shoot the video and we take care of the rest.
Yeah.
But the coaching and the collaboration, we got partners from Anchorage, Alaska, Portland, Oregon to Portland, Maine, down to Fort Myers, Florida, and over to Temecula, California, and every place in between.
Yeah.
And so we're able to collaborate with these different people. Some of these people have had tremendous results in a different way. And this is something very important to understand, is that the results, people ask me oftentimes, they're like, what's your ROI? I hate that question. I really do. And that's great if you like chasing a lead generation service or something else like that. What's your ROI on integrity? What's your ROI on contribution to the community? What's your ROI when you are an esteemed member of your local chamber?
Yeah.
There is no ROI on that. It's infinite. And so when you make connections to other people, when you work by relationship, right? What's your ROI on a relationship?
Yeah.
Right? So ROI is usually, it's important to understand when you're spending lead generation dollars, what your return is. When you're spending money on ad spend, what your return is. I look at this stuff too, but we can't track ROI on integrity and attraction, right? We attract business. So anyways, I have one partner who has grown into a media company and he gets paid to do commercials.
Yeah.
And his partners get paid to do commercials. I don't know what the ROI on that is. It's pretty good. I don't ask him how much he gets paid. I'm sure he gets paid well. I have another partner who landed a spot on the news. I have another partner that everywhere she goes, people are like, hey, you're the lady from the videos. Yeah. Another partner who landed a $1.5 million listing because she actually did a video of the owner's son who makes wooden flags. Now, the whole house thing came after, said, wow, that's a cool idea. And then they got to talking. So that video has led to millions of dollars worth of video of the transactions for my client.
Yeah,
what's
and
your ROI on that?
Exactly, and your system lies or ties into what I teach a lot, which I talk about. The fundamentals of farming is I call it CPR, which is community, positioning, and relationships. And the way you do videos really helps build all of those things. It gives back to the community. It helps position you as the expert, and it helps position you as the ambassador, and it helps build those relationships in the community. And really, if you do that well, that can become a solid foundation for your business. And your approach with your videos is not just, I'm an agent and I'm awesome, or here's my new listing. It's about the community. And I think that's a big difference with how you do videos versus the way a lot of other people teach videos or do videos. So I want to dive into that because I think it's important to understand the psychology behind that and the reasoning behind that. So for you, one of the big things you teach is interviewing local businesses. So can we talk about that for a second?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, local businesses are the backbone of the economy for a community, right? And I mean, that's a given. So I have a dream personally of helping thousands of communities across the country. How do I do that? I do it through my partners. How do we do it? Through video, right? Yeah. So that's how we reach, hundreds of communities currently, and we'll continue to grow. But people are interested because that person that owns that business has a whole bunch of roots laid down in that area. Yeah. So when you tag that person or they share it, their friends see it. And I don't care which system you follow for relationship or levels of communication. I don't care if you're following work by referral, relationship marketing, or the 7 levels or whatever it is. Yep. You're getting into other people's levels. Yep. And that's what's important, is getting that exposure from other people's levels. So when all of a sudden Giorgio shares that video, or you tag Giorgio's and they're like, oh my God, this is great. Thanks for this video. All of a sudden, all their friends are following it. But what we do is we do it in such a neutral place that it's not throw up of a real estate agent, because most of them That's what that's the videos that they do. That's the message that they put out, it's just noise.
Yeah.
Ours isn't about real estate at all.
Yeah.
Explore My Town is not about real estate. We are not a lead generation, quote unquote, platform or an IDX platform.
Yeah.
We're an attraction platform, and it's not about real estate. It's about community. So therefore, when we put this message out, it's semi-neutral, but you're still branding yourself.
Yeah.
And that putting yourself out there repetitively. I just shared something out. One of our channels has, and I'm not talking about the 3-second view. I'm talking about 30,000 minutes
Wow.
viewed.
Wow.
30,000 minutes viewed is like, I think it's 19 days.
That's crazy.
I looked it up earlier. Now, I posted something the other day. There's 86, that at this point, we're 86 days into the year, but we had 126 days worth of video watch through all of our platforms. Now, go back to that 30,000 for a second. Imagine you being seen over and over and over and over, giving back to the community. There's your title, there's your name, and ask and say, hey, everybody, I'm Johnny Moe with XYZ Real Estate. This is how we give back to the community. If you're a local, small business, local business, and you would like to be featured, just send us a PM, blah, 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 all that stuff, right? So that's the core of it, is getting into other people's, contributing, helping other people, and getting into their other levels, because that is what creates that ripple effect. Now, when people start watching and they're like, oh my God, this is great. I want to watch about the way that I didn't realize they had this homemade cheese place, and that, or homemade or made right here cheese place that services to restaurants. I want to watch that. Or, oh my God, I didn't realize about this hot dog place or this hamburger place. Or, oh, I didn't realize that was made right here. Or so many different things, right? The response has been ridiculously tremendous.
Yeah. One of the things I teach is the one-to-many approach, where if you can get in front of other people's audiences, you can now reach more people versus me going out and try to sell myself or connect with one person one at a time. And video allows you to do that. And then it amplifies it when you focus on local businesses, because when you highlight them and when you feature them, they in return are going to want to turn around and highlight themselves and share it. And I use this analogy all the time. As a single guy, I say, if I go want to meet a woman, the best way for me to be introduced is not to walk up and say, hi, I'm Ryan. It's to be introduced by another female and say, hey, you should meet Ryan. And when we have those local businesses sharing our videos with them in it, it gets shared more. It's more likely to be connected, and people go, oh, it makes that connection. And then the other analogy I use is, if I put an ad in the paper, I don't know many agents that do that, but if I put an ad in the paper or ran a Facebook ad, I don't go tell my friends and family. I don't go show my mom that I ran a Facebook ad. It's just part of business. But if I got featured in something and someone was highlighting me and doing an interview on me, I'm going to go tell the world and say, look at this, because it makes me feel good that I was highlighted and I was featured on these things. So these local businesses are now in return going to go out there and share it with their audience and share it with their friends and their family. And that creates that ripple effect that you're talking about. It helps you get into their audience.
They will advocate for you, and the more advocates that you have, the more you're going to win. And video, so let me just break this down real quick. Often people will say video and they assume IGTV, Facebook, or YouTube. But it also can be utilized as a video newsletter. It can also be utilized for so many different things, and in your ads or your messaging or whatnot. The video can be used with now you start getting an audience and a following to use with a nonprofit or a charity, and get their message out there and increase their drives or whatever they may be. Now you're becoming a valuable member, a valuable person. And people are like, oh, we got to get that Explore My Town dude. Right, let's get that guy over here. He's great. Or when I go to to meet someplace, I could walk up and say, "Hey, Ryan, Johnny Moe, I'd love to grab a cup of coffee with you and see how we can help each other's business grow." That's the typical line. What do you offer me? Nothing. But if I walk up and I say to the person, say, "Hey, Ryan, it's Johnny Moe. Listen, I love the way that you run your business. I run a channel called Explore My Town Manchester, and we focus on small businesses in the community. I love the way you run your business. I was wondering, would you be open to doing maybe a 3 or 4 minute interview? We'll get thousands of eyes on it. Doesn't cost you anything. We'll take care of all the professional editing and marketing. Would you be open to that?"
Who's going to say
who the
no?
hell's going to say no?
Exactly.
Right. So it gives you a complete, it takes all the awkwardness out of doing anything. But the thing about video, and what you said a second ago, is that your odds of meeting somebody increase based upon a referral. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the new NAR stats, I know this doesn't pertain to Canada, we're probably pretty
Probably very
close,
similar. Yeah.
but they are down here in the States, is that I believe it was 72%. Last year was 70, this year it was 72.
Yeah.
Percent of sellers find their agent through either they knew them, they worked with them in the past, or some form of referral, or they were connected in the community somehow, right? 72.
Yeah.
And 61, 62% were buyers.
Yeah.
The other alarming thing is 75% of people, consumers, go with the first agent they talk to.
Yeah.
So with doing video, and the difference with video, and it's not just doing video. Video itself is useless. You've got to have retargeting behind it, right? And that's the magic. That's where we earn our money is. I mean, I have a partner that doesn't use our service for marketing. She's lucky she got 200 views on her stuff.
Yeah.
Then I look at my other partners that have 10 and 12 and 15,000. There's a distinct difference, right? Yeah. And again, I'm not talking about the 3,000 second, the 3-second views.
Yeah.
The thing with video is that it stays out there.
Yes.
Not the video and retargeting. YouTube, it will stay out there forever, but if it gets buried, you've seen people's channels. Yeah. They're 2 years old and they got 7 subscribers. Yeah. And there are 6 of them, and their kid is 1. So with video, and when it's marketed and when it's pushed out there properly, it lives.
Yeah.
And it can be seen over and over and over again. So that's the power of video. And think about it, the way that social media, Facebook will be video only by the end of the year, maybe next year. Prove me wrong, right? Watch it happen, because it's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening with some of the changes that they're making.
And as more and more people are using Zoom, more and more people are spending more and more time in front of their computers, more time in front of their phones. It's not getting less, it's spending more. So they're going to consume more video. The question is, how do you get in front of them? And like you mentioned, it's the other strategies that matter, that the retargeting, getting in front of those audiences, building a newsletter, building a list that help. It's not just creating the content, because I've seen agents who spend a lot of time or money or resources creating a video, put it out there, and then hope that people find it and it goes viral. And that doesn't happen very often. So you have to have a system in place to make sure that people are getting that video in front of them, and the right people, not just anyone, because you don't want 1,000 people seeing it from India who are not going to buy a home here, or 1,000 people from England who are not going to buy here. It's the right people in your neighborhood or in your town that are going to see that. And see it over
and if somebody happens to travel to your area, they get added to the audience, because sometimes people are, might be a year, 2 years, 3 years out before they move to an area. Pinpointing those people are hard, but if they're local, then they'll be able to, they get added to the audience as long as they click on one of the videos. Yep. But you're right. It's the ultimate way to drill down to a local point of view.
Yeah. And by having that local content really embraces that, again, coming back to farming, that it just reestablishes you as that community expert. It reestablishes you as the person who cares, and that being the ambassador, and then that helps you further build relationships. And that's really, in my opinion, what farming is about. It's that positioning, this community positioning and relationships. And if you do it right, video can enhance that. And you can do other strategies. You can do door knocking, you can do postcards, you can do all these things, but video is really what helps take it to the next level at a much easier way and a much more efficient way than trying to do those things manually. It can cost you a fortune. And
farming is such an ugly word.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, but the first thing that comes to my mind, and I'm biased, or whatever the word might be, right, is that I have this pre-programmed notion that farming is door knocking, mailing out cards to one neighborhood.
Yep.
And it can be.
Yep.
I farm my whole town.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you can send out, let's do some math. Let's do some simple math. I have my town, 23,000 people that live here.
Yeah.
It's an affluent town, right? And average price is $480 or something like that. So call it 500. Each sale's good money.
Yeah.
There's probably 3,000 doors here. Now I could mail out to all of them. I could, but most of them, a lot of stuff's just going to go in the trash.
Yeah.
I could go door knocking, but damn, how long is that going to take me?
Yeah.
I could do a video. And if I wanted to get really crazy, I could geofarm. And I could have that video delivered right to your phone sitting at your kitchen table.
Yeah.
Based upon address.
Yeah.
But with that video, I'm going to be able to market in a consistent, you're going to see me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit everybody in town with, hey, it's Johnny Mel. Today I'm going to the Copador and we're going to get the inside secret on their famous chicken and waffles. Because everybody has had their chicken and waffles, you see.
Yeah.
And so, oh, hey, we're here with Tom Grenier, owner of the Copador, blah, 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 blah. Tom, tell us your secrets. And then shots of the kitchen, everything, just like diners, dives, and drive-thrus.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. And food, I love food because food is like the last thing that we can't argue about the bridge culture.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you getting people mostly doing food, or is it other things happening in the community as well?
And it's everything. It's everything. My South Carolina team, they did the Birds of Prey. They have a whole series going on. And this was like a 20-minute show all about the Birds of Prey Sanctuary and I absolutely loved it. I see hair salons, nail salons. We just did one for a burger place. I've seen meatball restaurants. I've seen museums, 2 museums, 3 museums. I've seen so many different things, jewelers, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, one of my first guests, Matt Santacapita, he was, I think it was guest number 3, and he does video for his community. And he said that a lot of people have asked and thought he was crazy because he was doing videos with his community, and said, oh, there you go. That's awesome. Special guest. Yeah, he said that people would ask him, say, why do people need to know about the community when we're selling houses? And he said, the community is what matters. For a lot of people, what is in the neighborhood matters, and what the demographics are looking for matters. And people may want to be in this neighborhood because of the parks, because someone may want to be here because of the restaurant, someone may want to be here because of the hospital, someone may want to so including the community is super important because it adds value to the people, and it adds value to your community, not just the people you already have in your database, plus the people who don't know about you yet.
Well, you position yourself as a knowledgeable person in the community. And if you're buying the biggest asset of 99% of people's lives, do you want that person to be a caring member of the community, or do you want them to just be getting a check? Thank you very much. On to the next, right? Exactly. So you got to position yourself. I follow this trifecta, I call it, and it's level 1 is life and community, right? Overview of the community, parks and attractions and neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Second is 2 per month, which is living or, living there and showcase. And that's businesses, restaurants, and fun spots. And then there's 3 times a week validation, testimonials, and shout outs, clients, B2B, chamber, pop-ups. So there's, dozens of ways to stay relevant. There's dozens of ways to do video. Yeah. One thing we don't do is parodies. You're not allowed to turn them in.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to turn them in because, it might get 5,000, 3,000 views on it, 10,000, 23,000 views on it. But who's viewing it?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is a homeowner going to see you making fun of this video or something like, I got to hire this guy, right? They're not my things.
Yeah.
They're just not my things, unless you're going to be really good at them. You know what I mean? They're just not my thing. I would rather, and if they're your thing, I don't mean to offend you.
Yep.
Do you?
Yep.
Do you?
Exactly.
We just don't do them there. We do more business to business networking through video.
Yeah, I was talking with an agent a while back, and they were talking about that agents used to be the Rolodex for the community, and people would call us and they'd say, hey, I need a plumber, I need a lawyer, I need a whatever, and they'd call us. And then when the internet hit, people stopped doing that. Agents would just not become that person. They were just focused on the transaction and just the day-to-day sales, and we stopped doing that. And there's a huge opportunity for us to go back to that and become that connector. And when people, you want your past clients calling you saying, hey, who's a good plumber that I should use? Where's a good restaurant that I should go to? Where's a good thing I should take my wife on a date? When we become that, people are thinking about us all the time. So the more connected we are with the community and those local businesses, the more people are going to connect with us to help put them in contact. And they're either going to search on our site or through our videos, or they'll call us directly because they know that we are connected with those local businesses. And when we make that connection, people remember us and want to stay connected with us, and we'll keep coming back, which is huge in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. 100%. People want to help people who help people.
Yep. 100%.
And Simon Sinek, you can argue with me, but I'll point to Simon Sinek and then you can go argue with him. You can get a hold of him. People are interested in why.
Yeah.
They want your why, right? Why you're doing it. And there's to me, no better way to tell my why than telling stories
Yeah.
of people in my community,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
Why do we do what we do? Listen, I'm giving back, right? I'm giving back. I'm taking time, energy, and money. And I tell you what, it's catching on. I see lots of people trying it and stuff like that, but it's got to be good.
Yeah.
It's got to be good. It's not for everybody. I've seen a lot of really bad videos.
Yeah.
And my heart breaks for these people. My heart breaks for the person doing it, but more so for the business owner who
Right.
thought that they were getting something. And
Right.
then it's like, oh my God, you actually released that video
Yeah.
and it's edited.
Yeah.
We don't allow that to happen.
Yeah, which is good. And that, again, I equate your system is kind of like buying into a franchise where you're getting the systems, you're getting the tools, you're getting the resources. You're not having to come up with from scratch. You're not having to develop it and learn from the ground up. You're walking into something that's already proven to work. You walk into the team that you've already got in place to do the editing and do that kind of stuff, which for a lot of agents, that's the scariest part. And that's the part that holds them back from doing it. And they'd be happy to spend the money and just say, here, I'll get it done. You take care of the rest and let me do what I do, which is go out and connect and then do business. And that's, for a lot of agents, that's the super most important thing.
And, we got different avatars of people that, we're attractive to. Leverage is a big thing.
Yeah.
Right? Leverage is everything in business. And why go out there and try to reinvent the wheel unless you already know how?
Yeah.
Right. But even then still, my Charleston partner, does multiple videos a month, 6 videos per month. We save them 20, 25 hours a month in editing and distribution, if not more.
Yeah.
And if you know what your time value is, you do the math on that.
Yeah, exactly. So before we wrap up, I want to go into the local business side of things, because I think it's important for agents to understand why it's so important. If we haven't got that already, I think I've been saying this since I've been doing the Launch Your Farm, is that helping the local businesses is the biggest opportunity that agents have right now, especially right now with everything that's happened with COVID. Local businesses have been decimated. They've been destroyed. They've been beaten up. They don't know what the heck's going on. We have an opportunity to help and give back to them. That's a huge benefit to us, because we can now become not their savior, but we can help them grow their business. It positions us as that expert in the community, and that we care about the community and we care about those local businesses, and that creates goodwill. And then by doing this, we create value for our own audience, because now we're helping these local businesses, we're showcasing what they're doing. And because of that, we have good content that our community cares about, and it creates a win-win-win for everybody. And I think it's so important. And agents, if they're thinking about going, well, I don't know if local businesses is an avenue I want to go down because I sell real estate, I think it's like they need to be focusing on that, because it's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, and think about this, right? These businesses are in what? Commercial space?
Yeah.
These businesses move. These businesses expand. These businesses do all sorts of other things. I'm not saying for you to get into commercial, because that's a complete other beat.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole different mindset of things going on over there. But it allows you to open up the door to potential referrals.
Yeah.
Or if you are in commercial or venturing into commercial, it's a perfect way.
Yeah.
Listen, out of the 1.5 million real estate agents out there, 1.45 of them only want the check.
Yeah.
Right. So this isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
Working by referral, contribution, attraction marketing. It's not for everybody. And I'm not faulting anybody, man. Grind your face off, make your money, do your thing.
Yeah.
Just be nice and kind. Don't lie, cheat, or steal.
Yeah.
Along the way. But for the right person, there's nothing more powerful.
Yeah.
I'll put I got the numbers. I see the response. I got a referral yesterday from a good friend of mine who is also a coach, who was in a funk last year. I helped her through the funk. This year we got her on Explore My Town. And she's like, thank you. I'm going to the gym. She's a grandma. I'm going to the gym now so I can look better. You give me a sense of purpose. You gave me so much motivation back. Now I'm engaging in my community. BNI love her so much that they're all lining up to do videos with her. And she just interviewed the regional director of BNI. Yeah. For those of you listening and don't know BNI, Business Networking International, it's $1 billion a year company.
Yeah.
They hand out referrals. They business partners that work together.
Yeah.
Right. Community, each one, there's only one person from each profession in there. And she's making a splash.
Yeah.
So if she can do it in a little town in Georgia, you can do it wherever you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, I firmly believe businesses are the future, and giving back will only grow your business, and doing it right can expand it and do it well. So yeah, it's awesome. So if you were to give one piece of advice to our listeners, if they were thinking about getting into video or getting into the community and helping local businesses, what advice would you give?
Everything works and nothing doesn't.
There you go.
That's my advice.
Yeah.
Or I would actually tell you, it only works if you do.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. So you're not just going to do a video and then all of a sudden be famous. You got to do a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
You got to put them out there. You got to do it right. You got to follow the system. You can sit there and spend hundreds of hours per week learning, like me, right? Or you can just plug into a system so you can stay in that high flow zone doing what you do best, being with the consumer. Right.
Awesome. Yeah.
That's where the money's made.
Yep, for sure. 100%. I totally believe that. And you got to start and do it, and then do it consistently. Consistency is key for anything really, but especially in being that community ambassador and being the farming expert. You got to just keep doing it, keep at it, and keep planting your seeds. So one of the things we wrap up with is your best book. So what's one book that's either changed your life or you think would have a huge impact on our viewers' life?
Oh, so that's a trick question because it goes down many different paths. But I do believe that every entrepreneur, real estate agent, mortgage officer, whatever, should read the E-Myth Revisited by Michael E. Gerber, who I actually a year ago had the fortune to sit down, a year ago and 1 month ago, sit down with me and him uninterrupted for 2 days.
Wow, that's awesome.
And, his book has always been an important piece to the way that I run my business, my real estate business. And I'll tell you why. In his book, he breaks it down. He says there's 3 levels to business: entrepreneur, manager, and technician.
Yeah.
As a result of that, I created a set of principles called UPAD: understand, plan, action, and discipline. And the thing is, most agents are not business managers. They're not executing as a business manager.
Yeah.
So when you are able to understand what the goals that you're trying to accomplish are as the entrepreneur, you make a plan to do it. You put it into action as the technician. You have the discipline to close up any negative gaps or do the work. That creates accountability back to your management level. And when that happens, you win.
Yeah,
Don't have that happen, and you might make a whole bunch of money. Next thing you know, you owe 32 grand.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't even know what they call them up in your world. What do they call them up there?
CRA, Canada Revenue Agency. So it's that was one of the best books I've ever read. I read that before I just got my license. I was getting my license and I read that, and it helped me shift my entire view on how I ran my business and from the beginning. And I came into it from an entrepreneur standpoint, not from an agent standpoint. And I branded myself differently than everyone else did. I built it so that I could step back from it if I wanted to. If I wanted to sell it, I could. And I think any agent should read that. I think any business owner, it's one of the best books ever written.
I think awesome. It is. I think it should be prescribed reading after you get a license. But they just send you through the door to get you to the, to get you to the processing room and get your check.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all they're doing.
All right. So how can our viewers check out what you're up to if they want to find out more information about Explore My Town or connect with you?
So best way, you can find me online, but the really easiest way, you can type in Johnny Mo. That's what I go by, but it's John Moscillo. You can figure out how to spell that. And but I would really honestly just go to partnerwithmytown.com. You can see exactly what we're doing, and we can connect, and we can connect right there.
Awesome. We'll put that in the show notes so people can check that out and connect with you. Thank you for being on. It's great. I work with you. I helped you some training for some of your agents as well, which is awesome. And I love what you're doing because I think it's so important. And I just think video and businesses are the future. So I think you're really onto something. And if agents are looking to get into something like this, it's a great option for them to really double down on what they're doing. So thank you for being on, and thanks for sharing your information with our audience.
You got it, man. Thank you.
Thanks for checking out today's episode